Wondering how to connect ManyChat to Integromat, or even what Integromat actually is? Well, I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you that now.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon.
All right, let's get this party started. We are going to set up the basic connection between ManyChat and Integromat. Now, Integromat is a alternative option to Zapier. I find there's some great things and actually some very powerful things that you can do in Integromat that I've found. So I'm kind of excited to bring this, and today we're just going to talk about how to get it connected, and then we're just going to do a simple add a row to a Google Sheet. So what I did is I created a very basic, simple flow. And all it's going to do is say test Integromat and let's do it. And then it's going to fire off an action. And that is how you connect ManyChat to Integromat, is through a action. You do need the pro version to do this. And so I'm just going to delete this. And I'm going to go down, and so you click on action. Basically, here, we'll just back out. I'm just going to delete that. So you create a message with a button, and all we're doing is putting a button, and then I'm just going to say done, because then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this. I'm going to take this out, and then grab an action. In the action, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. It says trigger Integromat, and you need the pro version to do this. Click on that, and then you need to enter in a webhook. And that is what it's going to connect the two. A webhook is something waiting. Basically, actually here, you're going to fire off a request to the webhook that's going to be on Integromat. So we're going to go over to Integromat. Go to www.integromat.com. And there you can set up a free account. We're going to kind of look at the pricing. And see there. They have a free, basic, standard, business, and platinum. So the free allows you to do 1,000 operations. So if you've used Zapier before, an operation is like a task in a Zap. In Integromat, you create scenarios. That's the equivalent of a Zap and Zapier. An operation is within the scenario. You may have usually at least two. You're going to have a trigger and an action, but you may have multiple things that are operations, and they count towards the 1,000 that you get for free in a month. The one great thing about between Zapier and Integromat is Zapier only allows you to have a two-step Zap on the free version. Anything with the 3 or more, basically step or task. And you can only have 2. Whereas here in Integromat, they don't limit you to the number of operations within your scenario on the free version. So it's great. You can test it out and really do some complicated things just to really see if it's the platform you want. And then you could go to the $9 a month one. We're going to go back, and what you do is obviously sign up right here. I've already got an account, so I'm just going to click sign in, and we're in. So the dashboard, you're going to have the dashboard, scenarios, templates, webhooks, all that good stuff. Really, what we're going to do right today is just we're going to create a scenario, a new scenario. And I'm running on the free version. You know, I do have a bunch of scenarios that I already have that I've been playing around with. So it's kind of nice that way. You kind of get a flavor for it and see if it's really something for you. But you're going to click on this button right here, create a new scenario. And then you can search all the applications they allow you. They actually bring them in a module within your scenario. And we're just going to go and get ManyChat. And And then we're going to continue. So once you get to here, you can build the scenario and what you want to use. And here they just added ManyChat. You have favorites. You can add more, and then you just use them to build it out. So we're going to click on the big question mark, and we're going to pick ManyChat. And in here, they have one trigger. And the reason they only have one trigger is that if we go back to ManyChat, it's an action. It's a Integromat trigger. And it's triggered by the webhook. That's it. So whenever you want to trigger something in Integromat, this is what you do. You create an action. It's very similar to the Zapier trigger that you can set up. And obviously Zapier has triggers on tags and stuff like that. So what you could do is in here, you could, if you created I'm just going to create another action step. You could say tag. So you could tag somebody, and then you could trigger the Integromat. So to kind of simulate the same thing you did with a tag in a Zap, which was the trigger. So just trying to create that scenario so that you can say, hey, yeah, I can still do pretty much the same thing. So we're going to delete that, going to publish that. And, oh, I didn't have a webhook. That's fine, because we're going to finish that over here. So you're going to click on this watching income data. And that's where you're going to create this webhook that's going to be able to be shown in ManyChat that you're going to connect it to. And then they have all these actions. You can set a custom field. You can manage the tags. You can send messages. You can send a text with a file. You can send a text with an image. You can get subscribers' data. You can perform an action. You can send a text. You can send a flow. So there is some more advanced things that you can actually do with Integromat that you can't do very easily in Zapier. You'll find out when we're next few steps here, you're actually going to bring in the public API from ManyChat to bring it in here. And so what happens is it opens up a lot of things that you can do with the public API within Integromat. So that's what I'm saying is there's some advanced things which are really cool. So we're going to pick this top one here, and it's going to ask for a webhook. I have a few of them already defined, but I'm just going to walk you through. Let's say I didn't have any. I'm going to say add, and I'm going to say add a connection, because I'm actually going to do this. This is one that I already have set up, but I'm going to say add over here, so that we're going to add another connection, even though I already have it here. I'm going to say test chat action and the access token. And so what that is you need to go over in ManyChat and you go to settings and you go to API, and here's your token. And it's the API public API token. And so I'm going to copy that from ManyChat, and we're going to go back to Integromat, and we're going to put that code in there, and then we're going to say continue. So it's going to churn a little bit and say, yep, you're good, we connected you. And so now we have that webhook, and I can call this test ManyChat Action. You can call it whatever you want, whatever makes sense to you, and then you save it. And there we go. So now we have it all set up that if we go back to ManyChat, so once you have that set up, now you can go back to ManyChat, go into our flow that we had, and here we go. I'm going to edit that. And now we're going to go back in this action. And we're going to click on here, and there it is, test ManyChat connection. So that's how you connect the two. You create the webhook on Integromat using the public API token, and then you can come back into the action and connect it. So now we're all connected. So it will fire off. The next step to do is to actually run this. what you want to do, and it's very similar if you've been through Zapier. If you haven't, what you want to do is you want to get sample data. Basically, that's what you're doing. And so Integromat, we're going to get some sample data by saying run once. And so it's going to sit here and churn and wait for us. And then we're going to go back over here. I'm going to say preview. And I'm going to open it up in Messenger. And there it is. And then I'm going to say, let's do it. And there, that ran. We weren't over here to see it run, but when a little 1 comes up, it means it ran. And if we click on that, you can see that you have all green checks, which is great. Initialization, operation, and then you have a subscriber. And there is all the subscriber data from me, because I'm the one that ran it. This way, now you can set up the other modules that you're going to do. We're going to pick Google Sheets to connect. And this way we have data, we can see it, how we can put it in. And plus, the other thing is, by doing that, you bring in all the custom fields. So all the custom fields come in and they're available to you. If you didn't do this, you wouldn't have all that. You would just have the generic things. There wouldn't be any values in it. And it's a little harder to set up the whole scenario. So now we're going to hit the plus sign here. We're going to add a module. And it's going to come up and your favorites are going to show up in here. I don't see Google Sheets in there. So we're going to search for it and we're going to pick Google Sheets. Now in Google Sheets, we have many actions that we can take. And maybe in some later videos, we'll go into a little more advanced things by selecting rows, adding worksheets. You can add a worksheet, delete a worksheet, get a cell list, and basically update a row. You can select a row, you know, that type of thing if you're looking something up based on something that the subscriber did. But we're going to add a row. And we're going to add a row to this spreadsheet, which is in my Google Drive, called Test Email Sheet. And we're going to go to Sheet 3. So I'm connected to my Google. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to do add, and then you'd say continue. And then what it's going to do is it's going to go out and find your Google account. And then you say, yep, use that one. That's how you would create that. And I'm just going to say cancel because I don't need it. And let's see. The file. So we're going to go and we're going to grab this file. And we're going to grab this sheet. And then now what we can do, I don't know where the bubble went, where I went. I kind of disappeared. So now what I've done is we got the connection. I grabbed the Google file, the Google Sheet file, and then the worksheet, which I want to work with. And now what you're going to do is just click here and all the data comes up from us running this sample run. And I'm going to grab, I'm just going to say ID, first name right there, last name right there. Let's see, name. I'm going to do name, email. I'm going to go down and actually go into the custom fields. So click on the little arrow, and I'm going to find test email. There we go. So that's all I'm going to put in there right now. I'll move myself out of the way, and I'm just going to run once. We're going to run and test. So I can just go back and push this button, same button again, and we kind of see this run. See, it just ran across here. And now we have this. And if we go to the sheet, there we are. There it is. And so if you had this flow running for whoever, you know, you have people coming through as far as other subscribers, you know, and they keep hitting the button. Boom, they hit the button. And it's not going to run yet because it's not running. So if I did this, if I said run once and processing exists. So see, it knows that it was submitted once and it wasn't on. And so, yeah, let's process that one. So now we should have another row. There it is. Now, that's not very efficient because you want it running all the time. So what you need to do is you need to go on schedule and just say on. And we want it immediate. So you can set it at different intervals, at regular intervals, once every day, days, a week, special dates. So you can, depending on when you want it to run. So I'm going to say immediate, I'm going to say activate. So now it's on all the time. And if I go back to Messenger, I can say, let's do it. And boom, there's another row. I can do it again. And there's another row. So it's going to continually just keep running for me. Those are operations that you're using. So, on the free version and stuff, you keep using them, and then eventually you'd have to wait till the next month unless you get to the paid version of Integromat. But that's it. Simple, basic setup. That's all I wanted to go through today. And then you can send stuff to Google Sheets. Now you can explore other things. You could not do Google Sheets and put other, modules. I think that's what they call, add a module. You can add another module. They do have a router where, depending on what's coming in, you can route them to different things, all those things. And so you can play around with it. Now, at least you know how to connect it. You know how to get the sample data in there, and you know how to grab the data and put it into whatever module you have as an action. Well, that concludes our video for today on connecting ManyChat with Integromat. We went through a basic overview on how to connect the two, and also how to add a row into a Google Sheet. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. I'd be happy to answer them. And as always, like the video, share it across the world, and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Click the little bell so that you do get notification when I do upload a new video. Down in the description, I have a link to a great Facebook group, Messenger Marketing with an ROI. Great group, a lot of like-minded people. Come on and join us. As always, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.